Jacob Rii was an American newspaper reporter, social reformer, and photographer who is best known for his work How the Other Half Lives. By the late 1880s, Riis was photographing the slums of New York City during his shift as a police reporter, where he got the inspiration to document the living conditions of the poor in New York City. Riis's work was able to expose and bring to light the horrible living conditions that many of the poor were living in by photographing raw, detailed images of his subjects and their environment. His work was not only able to capture the horrible living conditions of the slums in New York City, but also the humanity and bravery aspect of the people who were actually living in those conditions. Riis's work was able to push for social reform in New York City, arguing for slum reform. He was supported by many people and he won their support by photographing and sharing his work. His work later led to the Tenement House Commission in 1884, as well as recognition from Theodore Roosevelt, who would soon become president in 1901. One of the patterns you can see from his work is his ability to capture raw images of his subjects in all sorts of different environments and conditions. His photographs are not meant to be beautiful, but informative and real. He opts for many head-on images, and since there is no color, these images produce great detail about the subject and the environment. Up till now, all of the photographs shown are from his book called How the Other Half Lives, which was published in 1890. His work went out to inform and represent those struggling in New York City while also showing people that these people do really exist and they deserve more, which were mainly composed of poor immigrants and the sweatshops, streets, dumps, and factories that they resided in. His technique when photographing was called flashbulb photography, which was a brief intense emission of light used to capture the subjects in motion with detail. It could sometimes be hazardous due to the mixture of chemicals and reactions that occurred with certain flash lamp devices. Nonetheless, he used these to light up the slums in New York City and capture in detail his subjects and environment. His work went on to inspire real change for those who often get overlooked in big cities and led to social reform for the slums in New York City. His work helped shine a light on just how powerful real and raw images can be in helping expose things that need to be seen in order for people to actually care about.